Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Japan Catch Up. I am Jibo. I've been in the background before, but now I am on screen for the first time. We've got Kumi, as usual, our resident Japanese expert, and then we have Alan in the background.
Hello, hello, hello. Greetings and konnichiwa.
こんにちは。
So before we jump into the news topics of the week, we will start with our weekly bit of grammar from Kumi. So Kumi, what are we learning today?
Today, Kumi is in Agri-Foodie will introduce new vocabulary. Pochita.
Pochita.
Pochita. Yes. Good repeat. And
Sounds
pochita.
like a Pokemon character.
Yeah, very cute sound. Cute sound words. That means dangerous. I will say, I will use this word like this. 昨日 PlayStation 4 ポチった。
Kino PlayStation 4 Pochita.
Which means just pochita, simply meaning is purchase online.
Oh, like pressing the
Pochita.
buy button online.
Yes. Pochi is onomatopoeia. Pochi is sounds of a button or switch being pressed. Pochi.
Oh.
And then, this is a mouse, computer mouse. When you press the Amazon cart button, it makes more noise. Pochi.
Pochi.
And then your money will be gone easily. So the feeling is want to make the sound casual. Even I bought something expensive like PS4. I just pochita, not spend huge money. So it's casual. You can say you bought something online casually. Looking guilty, I think. Pochita.
I can say I pochita 64 packs of popcorn on Amazon.
That's a fact, actually.
Yeah, that's good.
It was only available in bulk, so
yeah. That's gonna
Is
happen in supermarket in Japan, not like Costco.
Is it normally used in past tense only? So, like, can you say pochiru?
Yes, you can use like this. Or there is a verb form with finish with chatta. For example, pochichatta. It's past tense, but chat sounds including small guilty and makes the sounds it happened accidentally. I don't know what has happened, but I didn't want it to do, but finally it's happened, something like that. So if you say pochichatta.
Like, oops, I accidentally bought a PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch and 54 figurines.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. I bought my PlayStation 4 years ago. I bought my PlayStation 4.
I'm not directing it to anyone. I was
really?
picking up on Kumi's PlayStation 4. She talked about the PlayStation 4, so I just added a few things to the cart.
Right. Okay.
Dangerous thing to use.
I had another question though. Is it something? This is a weird question, but is it something like older people can say to younger people who stay in their room playing online games, or like games on the computer? Like, could I say like, なんか部屋でポチってる。違う。No. Oh, my connection's bad. Hold on.
Maybe usually it's happened once. Yeah, sounds like it's done, or let's do it once, like it.
Okay, one and done.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the action, bought or buy, not like roaming around eShop or Amazon searching. Not like shopping, action of purchased. So maybe it won't be used like you said.
So just one time.
One time. The action wise.
Okay.
Cool.
So be careful in quarantine life. Make sure don't poach it too much.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of coronavirus, as we hop into the news, a lot of the news is about coronavirus. So, in our coronavirus corner today, just an update on the numbers. I think Japan has around 16,000 cases at the moment, but the number of cases, new cases per day, is steadily dropping. So I think at the last count, Tokyo had only 5 new cases, and Osaka had 0 new cases, as long as well as Kyoto too, and a couple of other prefectures. So the infection rates are going down despite Japan's very lax lockdown.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, Tokyo is
yeah,
still under the emergency statement, but more than 30 prefecture start have a regular life. We're going back to regular life cycle. So finally, I could hear some better news from Japan.
Hmm.
That's
have you been doing any baking, Kumi?
no. I'm stuck in a tiny apartment which doesn't have a good kitchen, so I don't have that chance.
No baking. But a lot of people have been using their time to bake, haven't they?
Yes. Well, there is a flour shortage in supermarket in many supermarket because people want to have a luxury quarantine time, like a baking bread. Not only bread, some people baking cookies, a cake.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Then I've read about news. The cooking recipe site uh, got a huge number of visitor on that website. Because a lot
Yeah,
of people
everyone's
accessing
looking
that
for recipes.
recipe website to bake a bread or something. Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow.
In America too, I feel like everyone's trying out new baking recipes and taking this time, not just baking, but like trying to cook new things. I made poutine yesterday, so
Pudding.
Poutine.
poutine.
It's
Poutine.
a Canadian dish. Yeah, poutine. Oh, you've been in Canada, haven't you, Kumi?
Yes,
Yeah,
um, I,
poutine.
I'm wondering, you can call the pudding is cooking. Is that is there any special skill to
Well,
melt
yeah.
cheese
So
or
the French
something?
fries, for sure. I had to cut the potatoes. So everything's from scratch. We didn't like get like frozen French fries.
Okay.
Potatoes, boiled them, and then double fried the potatoes so that they were soft
Okay.
in the middle and then like crunchy on the outside. And then I made the gravy from scratch. Uh,
Gravy from scratch.
from scratch.
Wow, great.
And it was
Oh,
good
that's
too.
big to me. Yeah. I didn't know that anything about French fries.
I didn't just buy French fries and import ingredients on them. No, it was good. See,
It
I
was
think,
actually really good.
yeah, everybody's trying out new things.
Yeah.
Jeep was
Mhm.
actually trying out Japanese recipes now.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
learning how to cook
Uh,
Japanese food. Basically, from what I gather, all you need for every recipe is sake, soy sauce, mirin, and sugar.
yes,
And then you can
exactly.
cook anything.
Actually, yes, everything has a slightly different percentage of
Yeah.
condiments and the show you something like that.
Yeah. Um, guys, can you hear me?
And maybe Teresa.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. Maybe he's switching Wi-Fi's.
Yeah, okay. I just switched the Wi-Fi connection. Is it better now?
Yes.
Well, we could hear you. Well, I could hear you the whole time.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. Yep. Sorry for that interference. Um, Moving on. Moving on. What were you
Well,
saying, Olivia?
people have been baking and cooking, and Japan is, well, they're wanting to end the state of emergency at the end of this month. But I think there will still be changes after that. Like Mount Fuji will not be open this summer for hiking, which
At
is
all.
at
None of the
all.
paths.
None of the paths
Zero.
up to Mount Fuji will be open for
Yeah.
climbing this summer.
Yes, in an attempt to curb the coronavirus
Yeah.
spread. They're closing the entire mountain.
I'm wondering, so many other things at summer will be closed as well. Like, for example, Sumida Firework Festival, that is
Wow.
hugest one in Japan.
Yeah.
For me, that was understandable because it can be huge crowd along the river, and
Yeah.
even transportation, train, bus can be crowded around that festival area.
Yeah.
But at Mount Fuji, it's open area in huge nature. Really be huge crowd, even transportation, like festival. I guess climbing Mount Fuji won't be like cluster of to spread a virus. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering why. Is it just following the society decision, or there is another scientific information or not?
Yeah.
I couldn't get that information though.
Yeah, I wonder as well. But I wonder if it's like a thing for the government to be like, hey, don't even come to Japan. Like our biggest biggest draw, biggest natural draw that is, isn't even open. So don't come.
To stop
You know?
visitors from coming in.
Yeah, altogether. Because I'm sure, because for people who don't know, people who are watching this and don't know, Mount Fuji is only open a few months in the year, like during the summer, maybe early autumn. No, not even then, just during the summer. So you can only go to the mountain without like I think you gotta have like some kind of special certification to climb it outside of those months. But yeah, so like I think it's a way to kind of prevent people from coming who would have come for like, or whose part of their itinerary would have been like Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
Or like the highlight of their itinerary would have been like
Yeah.
Mount Fuji. So yeah.
We showed another news in previous or two previous episode, like because people stopped to hanging out or fishing not much, so now the nature situation can improve again, like I recover again.
Yeah.
I may imagine Mount Fuji, the nature will recover a little bit of this
Does
year.
Mount Fuji have a lot of nature?
Not really.
Yeah.
That was the problem a few years ago, because actually there are so many trash and tin because of tourists to apply to apply being nature heritage. There is a huge project to collect garbage or grow the nature again, something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe Mount Fuji needed to some holidays
to
recover its nature.
First time off since 1960, I think, or around there.
Wow.
Is that
Do we
year?
know why? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. Is that year the first year open to Mount Fuji?
I think that was the last time it was closed. So it hasn't. This is the first time they've closed it in what, more than 50 years. Yeah. But
Jibu, do you know the reason why they closed it in 1960?
I do not.
When's the last time it erupted? Does anyone know?
Maybe I have no idea. I think it was a while ago. I don't think it
was. What I've learned is that was in Edo period.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
1707 was the last eruption for Mount Fuji.
Okay. Hmm.
You know, some studies said it will again in 30 years or 70 years, something like that. Ah, no, we read that news as well in
Mhm.
this podcast before. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, or even though climbers will not be climbing this summer, some online daters are finding love during the coronavirus, despite not being able to move, being able to meet in person. And Kumi, you have more information about that, don't you? The online
Yes,
daters.
yes. This online dating company released that online dating service actually before the coronavirus attacked Japan. But interesting fact is there are only 10 to 20 people to join that service before this situation. But now more than 400 people joined that dating party since
Mm.
1st of May or only this month, along this month. So I also had a biased image about dating online or find someone to date on online, but
Mm.
maybe this company and this situation will change people's mind. Dating on online is normal
Mm.
anymore.
I mean, I think a lot of things that are now moving to online platforms mean it's going to become more normal, maybe just because now people know it's actually possible. And there's less of a stigma attached to doing things online. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe that's something that will come out of all of this.
Sorry, stigma.
Like a negative view of something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's our English word
So,
for the day, stigma.
Um.
well, the news said, the news I found said a lot of people review said there's not different seeing face to between seeing the new people face to face. So it's not like a casual dating
Mm.
online video chat. They are seriously looking for partner to get married on this app.
Mm.
Wait. So it's like Omiai.
Yes, yes, something like that.
Hmm. Okay. Wow. Oh, that's
Well,
that.
it's
Yeah.
good side of OmiI. People is serious to use this app.
Yeah.
Another good side from dating app, like more casual. Don't
Mm.
need usually people wear nice clothes and sometimes bring parents OmiI,
Yeah.
but uh, in this case, it compromised these two good points.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
So,
think we've just found our culture question for the next episode is what is Omiai? Because like that's such a really interesting part of Japanese culture um, that would be interesting to share with everybody. So look forward to that next time. Omiai.
I mean, it's interesting that, one aspect of Japanese culture that is still quite traditional in one respect has been able to adapt to the
Mhm.
21st century and shift things online, where there are a number of other things in Japan that basically exist in the 1900s and refuse to change procedure or protocol to make it more 21st century friendly, um,
Mm.
like the fax machine, perhaps.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god. I can't tell you how many times somebody has asked me to either fax them something here in Japan or what my fax number is. I'm so confused. Like what fax? Send me an
Well,
email. Just scan it and send it to me. Take a picture of it. Text it to me. You have so many options nowadays. Fax it to me. What?
Well, society getting smarter in strange way. We can rent or we can temporarily lend fax to send fax or to convenience store or
Wow.
something.
You can temporarily rent a fax machine.
Yeah, maybe we can upload the PDF file from smartphone and then get internet number code or something,
Oh,
and then go into convenience store and then press the number of that
Oh
data,
my
and
God.
the fax machine sends fax.
where
I'm
you could
just, go
just
ahead.
where uh you could just scan it on your iPhone and then send it as an email attachment. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's even with the coronavirus here, hospitals have to report coronavirus cases via fax, which a lot of, or some hospitals at least, are complaining about, because who has, I mean, apparently most businesses in Japan have a fax machine, and 1 in 3 individuals have a fax machine. But I find those statistics hard to believe.
That that's even ridiculous. Sounds ridiculous to me too. It's understandable some vegetable shop or flower shop still using fax because mm, maybe that kind of business doesn't need computer
Mm.
except the fact
Yeah.
of receiving order. But
Yes.
Yeah.
government, you definitely use computers a lot,
Yeah.
and then you have the money. You have the money.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I was shocked. I knew faxes old culture or old technology, but since I used to work uh, restaurant or small ramen shop when I was young teenager as part-time job, so I saw a lot of fax culture, like order food or order ingredients by fax. So for me, fax is old but still familiar. So I
Mhm.
didn't expect that um, other countries people's reaction like this.
Yeah.
I thought this is borderline. If I saw someone using Galapagos style uh, cell phone like this, I
Oh
would
yeah.
be
Yeah.
shocked. I would be shocked, but I don't say you should change it. But for you too, fax sounds like using fax doesn't sound like this. Sounds like we need to change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's really interesting though, because like when you put it that way, I wonder if people in Japan are consciously like, oh, I only want to use a fax machine because I don't want to get too high tech. Because like in America, there's a movement for people to go back to dumb phones, like the garake that
Mhm.
Kumi was just showing us, like flip phones, because they don't want like a million, like it's too distracting sometimes to have a smartphone. I wonder if like people are like, I don't want a laptop. I want to scan this piece of paper in this machine and push the numbers and have it go where I want it to go. It is kind of freeing, like just yeah, put the paper in
yeah,
there and be done.
but the quality of faxes, and we used to have a fax machine as a kid, and like pages would be skew, and you couldn't read the text, and it just like it didn't even look professional.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sure. I'm
I
sure
think
there has to be
the
like
ink
better fax machines now.
inks in the photo, sorry, inks in form machine isn't cheap, I think, anymore.
Is it ink or is it like what is it?
Yeah,
The
how can
one
I
where
say
it
that?
burns into the paper?
Like a tape uh, using heat to bring
Yeah,
it in. Yeah, yeah, but I don't think it's uh, eternal thing. Sometimes you need to change.
yeah, yeah,
It costs for users. So, well,
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense like a movement of using a dumb phone.
yeah.
yeah. No, it's a bit ridiculous.
I
I
think,
mean,
especially big company being lazy to change system, which is already
yeah,
Yeah,
work well. I quote it. Um, uh, if change the machine, they also need to change other huge thing like a process, like when the responsibility person puts the stamp as well, like
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
organize the process.
Yeah.
I need to change. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
get
like
that.
the effort of getting everyone in the company up to speed or on changing
Yeah.
the procedure. I mean, well, there is someone in Japan who definitely does not want to go back to boomer era technology and those sorts of pieces of equipment or electronics. Is a Japanese teenager who is crowdfunding to basically file a lawsuit against the local government against the limits that they place on video games for teenagers.
Okay, so how many hours, what are the limits for kids playing video games?
I think this is in Kagawa Prefecture. I'm not sure if it's the same for every prefecture. But I think it's during the week, like limited to 90 minutes a day.
Okay. Oh,
And
wait. I think it's an hour a day.
an hour a day?
Hour a day during the week. And then 90 minutes a day during school holidays.
Oh,
I'm
during the holiday.
assuming that that includes weekends. I'm not sure. And then it also suggests that children aged between 12 and 5 should not be allowed to use smartphones after 9 p.m. And hold on. And then that limit is stretched to 10 p.m. for kids between 15 and 18.
That's huge problem for player of Animal Crossing because
Yeah.
Animal Crossing has a different event each time. I'm happy I'm already adult.
Yeah. So wait, is he taking legal action?
Well, he's crowdfunding to get enough money in order to take legal action. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to play all the time. Well, just have no limits placed on video game time.
Yeah, that's
hold on, I'm trying to find
the way to control children. And then who's gonna report if children played overtime? It sounds like the
Very
parents
strict
should
parent.
parents. What kind of parents report their children as criminal? Not criminal, but bad kids. You know, our daughter playing Animal Crossing over 10 after 10 p.m.
Yeah.
What they can do? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do think that a lot of screen time is kind of negative for kids. So I do think there needs to be some limit.
But government enforced limit though? I mean, I think that should probably be a household thing. You know, like
Yes.
that's a bit excessive.
I think a more helpful way is, you know, government held some conference how to make a limit to play video game in the house, how to educate children.
Yeah.
That kind of conference, advice for parents, not control children.
Yeah. I mean, this is also assuming that the parents actually care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, one funny thing I've heard is some other people, not children, not a kid, against this law as well, and then they send a fax to this city office or something.
Well, the city office probably doesn't have an email, so they had to go borrow a fax machine or go to 7-Eleven to fax it.
Wow, that's crazy. But I have a couple quotes real quick from the kid.
Yeah.
He said, how long children are allowed to play games or use a smartphone should be rules set by each family, not by the government. And then he also said, I thought it was wrong that an administrative body intervenes in family life and the limits have no scientific evidence, and they're based on the premise that gaming is the cause of things like truancy and addiction to games. So he's got some pretty good arguments for a kid, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. For how old is he? 17, I think.
Well, he can almost play whenever he wants. When
Yeah,
he
he's
wait, no, is it 20 or is it 18? What's when? How long do the limits?
18, I believe.
18. Okay.
Yeah, so he had another year. But you know how many good games are coming out in 2020? He's got to. He wants to take advantage of it now. He can't wait.
And I've learned so many good things from game as well, like move hard or efficiency, or well, maybe determined to resist playing game as well, to
Yeah.
play game. Yeah. So
Poor guy.
Oh,
yeah.
and I mean, yeah, he does have some good points though. Maybe the government should have guidelines, but not like enforce them. So if you want to
No.
follow them, then you know it's the parents' prerogative to decide if they want to adhere to those limits.
Yeah.
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 We should follow this boy's action. What's gonna happen next when he got a
Yeah.
money? What he can do? Or maybe we can help him. No, I want to help him to pray to let kids play video games.
We can sign his petition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
another good thing that's happening right now in Japan, or at least for the month of April, is that the suicide rate has fallen. So it's this April, it was 20% lower than it was last April. And some people are suggesting that it's because people are, I don't know, able to stay at home more. And then a lot of the things around the new year, which is in April, and work starts and school starts, a lot of those things have been postponed. So there's been less stress around in general. So
Yeah.
fewer
Yeah.
suicides.
Yeah.
I expect that lots of people, will be in stress. Even it can be caused to suicide, like can't get job anymore,
Yeah.
or feel anxious to continue this life. But actually, opposite thing happened. And also, we mentioned there is not enough helping center for the victims of domestic violence and something.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there are still problems, but the number of people feel better is more than that kind of victims. That is
Yeah.
a result, say. Is a result as a result. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, people aren't commuting to work. And I feel like, depending on how long your commute is, it can be quite depressing to spend an hour or two commuting back to and from work every day.
Yes.
So maybe that's also made people, well, just less depressed.
Yeah, and especially like the commute in Tokyo,
Yeah.
specifically for the people who are living in Tokyo. Like, I would want to kill myself if I had to do that every day. It's not to make fun of the people suicide, but like, yeah, it's terrible in the mornings. It's like you're just shoulder to shoulder, like oof, oof, oof. I get anxiety thinking about riding the train in Tokyo during like peak travel times. So
But do you think that having statistics like that and having people complain about, using ink cons or fax machines, do you think that will be enough for the Japanese government to actually change things, or for businesses to institute new rules like allowing people to work from home or flexible work schedules and keeping that? Or do you think Japan will continue to adhere to its protocols and policies and refuse to make any long-term changes?
I think
It,
go ahead.
sorry.
You go.
Sorry, Alan, go ahead.
No. Those are the
Oh,
two.
yes, a quick mention, mentioned there will be huge gaps. Some company which have that kind of idea, we can work online, will going ahead quite faster. Even some company already start to build up the security internet service for each employee.
Mm.
On the other hand, some people want anything, want to go back to usual normal
Yeah.
Japanese working style. So it will be extreme two-way to work.
Yeah.
That's my mention.
Yeah.
There was a poll for the US. I'm not sure about Japan, but like there's some people who actually want to go back to work. Like they don't want to work from home.
Mm.
I think there might be a couple factors that play a part in that. Like one is everybody's at home right now.
Mm.
So maybe they don't want to be home because, the kids are at home. We got maybe some in-laws. I don't know. But like everyone being there may make people want to go back to work. And then oh shoot, lost my train of thought.
Well, it's like work and leisure happen at the same place. There's no
Yeah.
separation of, unless you maybe have an office that you only use for work, there's no separation of leisure and work, which can make it difficult to switch off.
Yeah, that's true.
So if people can have a huge apartment, everyone want to work at home.
Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe
Or
some home environments are stressful.
What is that?
and
I said maybe
sorry.
some home environments are just stressful.
Yeah.
That's different reason. I was wondering if people outside Tokyo can understand the crowded train can be caused to stress, and then finally it leads to suicide. And that's very extreme. Sounds extreme. Like just is it sounds like is it so relief to not go to office by train? Is that reason the number of suicides reduced in Japan on April?
Let's come back to this in 1 second because the video is going to cut off. So we'll be right back.
Wondering about this article. Is it understandable the reason why the suicide reduce is people don't have to go to their workplace, which means their working place can be very stressful, can be cause to the suicide. And then this is not happened for minority persons. A lot of major persons have a huge stress on their workplace. And then this article said because this is especially April, which means the new semester will start on April in Japan usually. So seeing new people or having kind of alcohol party to held welcome party for new person on April, is it so stressful? Even can be cause of suicide. Well, for me, yes, it's understandable. So I was wondering about your opinion.
I mean, I know the work environment in Japan is generally quite intense and stressful, and maybe going into a new job knowing that you're entering into that stressful environment is something that will, cause more stress. Yeah, so I mean, I can see how it might affect people. I mean, obviously not everyone, because it's not like the suicide rate is down to zero, it's just lower. So, there are still a lot of other factors that are depressing people, but maybe because of this whole working at home thing, it's affecting the people where that stress would have caused them to commit suicide.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think it's work related either way. So whether it's the commute or the environment where you're expected to work overtime with no extra pay, or you know what I mean, or like maybe like the relationships within the office when you work in a Japanese company, how those can be quite stressful as well. Like it's a lot of different things that add up to uh, just a generally stressful situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Twitter though, they've what? Alan, you were saying they're letting their employees work from home forever.
Definitely, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
just it now. So you can Twitter employees don't have to go to an office anymore.
Twitter is wherever you want it to be. The Twitter office.
Pretty much, pretty much. That is really cool. That's really,
Yeah.
Yeah, like you mentioned, some people want to go to office. I'm wondering, is there any other option they can take, or if they let them to walk outside the office, do they give them good internet facility or a
Yeah.
laptop computer or something like that?
like for hmm,
I
I'm
just
pretty sure they'll give them the option, like, hey, you can work here or you can work, because a lot of tech companies have been doing this for a long time, anyways,
yeah
where there isn't necessarily like, you have to work from 9 to 5. It's
yeah
just make sure that this task is done. And
mm,
then I've had the pleasure of visiting the Facebook campus in California. It's amazing. Like people, you want to go to work. They have like tons of different restaurants and you get to eat at each of them for free. And then like the workspaces themselves are just really, really cool. It's just there's so much cool shit there that you would want to go to work. Like you would look forward to being there.
Yeah.
So for places like that, I can understand. What was I gonna say? People wanting to go to work.
mm.
Yeah,
Even compared to their house, yeah, of course,
yeah,
definitely. Mm.
yep. But what's next, Jude?
Well, I think that's the news topics for today. So we're going to move on to some Japanese culture. And Kumi, so a lot of when a lot of visitors come to Japan, they'll obviously go to a lot of temples and shrines because that's part of the culture. Um, but we get a lot of questions about how to tell the difference between a shrine and a temple. So would you be able to explain some of those differences?
Yeah, I can. I'd rather to tell the brief, basic thing, a difference between them. So this time I will talking about different on the looking, the temples looking and shrine looking. Uh, Maybe first huge difference is the gate. If you find the gate design consists two pillars and two or one horizontal layer on these two pillars. The simple structure of gate. If you can find that, this is it. This is shrine.
Mhm.
On the other hand, if you see the huge pillar, which usually made of wood, with tiled huge roof, massive design, and with my be temple.
Mhm.
And another looking different is this roof. If the building has clay tile temple, this is temple. Sorry, clay tiled roof. This is temple. Usually, shrine's roof is covered by thatch or bark,
Mhm.
something nature materials.
Mhm.
uh, because in shrine idea, Shintoism idea, uh, people thought we shouldn't put on earth on the god. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah,
clay tile is made of soil, right?
yeah.
People thought this is off, and God should be live on the sky. So people thought don't put earth on the
Yeah.
god, something like that. So um, gate and roof is big difference
And
on
so
their
shrine is
routine.
Shinto and temple is Buddhist.
Oh yes, true. It's correct.
Okay.
Then another point maybe if tourists can enjoy the difference between temple and shrine is these guardians beside the gate. Usually there are guardians which protect divine area. The temple's guardian is called Kongo Rikshizo, which means which look like two massive muscle man statues.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously temple. It looks like huge human. This is actually Buddhism, one of the Buddhism gods though. They look like human face, human body.
Mm-hmm.
At the shrine, you can find two creatures look like lion or dog.
Yeah.
So this time I would love to show you the Komainu pictures.
Mhm.
Would you mind I share the screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then for podcast audience, Alan and Jibu will describe how do they look like. Oh, sorry, I had a mistake.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, whoops. Okay.
oh wait, oh, there you go.
So this is Komainu, Shrine's Guardians one.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, it was lion,
Mm-hmm.
and then the lion guards the kind of divine area or king's area. Idea it come from India, and this idea came to Japan through China.
Mm-hmm.
China is very ancient. China has a very creative mind. They are good at emerging mythological creature. Then lion become this looking.
And looks like a dragon lion. Like the top half looks like a Chinese dragon, and then it's got paws. Oh, and some nails. Okay, so the lion, dog / dragon looking ones are the guardians for shrines.
Yes, and this is original Komainu. But there was a movement to offer stone sculpture for shrines from people in Edo period. Like there were lots of stone carving artists in Edo period, and then they created they carved Komainu statues, Komainu sculpture without knowing how they looked like. Just listened, like you said, like Jiwa said, Komainu is dragon, look like a lion, but name is Komainu. In Japanese language, Komainu means dog. So,
what does the koma part mean in Komainu?
Good point. Good question. That will be my homework. Sorry.
Do you know the kanji character for it? Or?
Yes. I can light it, but I don't know what is this. It's like a animal part on the left side, animal meaning part, and the light side is white. So,
white,
sure.
like shiro?
Shiro, yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, that'd be interesting to know for sure.
Apparently, koma is archaic part of Korea or lion dog.
But it already means lion dog. So Komainu means lion dog.
Yep.
No.
So 66 in this name, 66% of name meaning is dog, and 33% is lion. So the stone carving artist in Edo periods, stone carving artists in Edo periods created a lot of different design koma inu because they don't know what's koma inu. So if I want to suggest the tourist will come Japan looking for koma inu design, and then can I show a few good koma inu? This is coolest one. Now I'm showing the next one.
Wow. It's an obese cat with a bowl cut and a beard.
You know what though? I can see why a Japanese person would carve a lion to look like this. It looks like either like Akita-ken or
Yeah.
or Hokkaido-ken, like a Hokkaido breed of dog, or like a Shiba Inu. But like a grizzly looking Shiba Inu.
And maybe if someone told the artist the dog has a hair around its head, maybe this is the reason it has a weird hair on its top.
It's a hairstyle, not a mane.
Next one.
That's very abstract.
So it doesn't look like a dog anymore.
Wait,
it looks like, those Aztec or Native American like totem pole faces.
Oh, yeah. If I saw only head part, even I can say it looks like a moai.
It definitely looks human.
Yeah.
In fact, even the back legs, it doesn't look like. It looks like someone's just bent on the ground, right?
Yeah, begging something. Yeah.
Wait, what shrine? I would love to know. Do you know what shrine this is that has this?
Not this time, but I will research it, and maybe I can collect the funny combine.
Because I know some shrines have like specific or like weird guardians based off of what deity resides in the shrine. Like some have dragons, some have like weird creatures. I know most Inari shrines have foxes. But yeah, no, I would love to know what shrine that is, because that is definitely a human. He's like transforming into something. I don't know what.
It's a Koma Inu werewolf.
Aware Shiba Kens. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to show you last one. Sorry, two more.
It's an otter.
Angry otter, isn't it?
But it's Busaiku Kawaii. Busaiku
Busakawa. Yeah, Busakawa. Busai Kawaii.
Yeah. It's
adorable, but not beautiful.
He's got a nose ring too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's nose ring or just having some
booger. It's an ancient booger in his nose.
No, it's protects divine area.
Booger. Protect the booger.
The last one looked like very welcome, even evils. It's smiling.
Oh wow. That has to be Okinawa or somewhere in Kyushu or down there. It looks like
Shisa, isn't it?
What
Shisa,
is it?
Another type of Komainu design dog.
And the one in Okinawa.
Okinawa's one, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Appa from The Last Airbender.
Wow, it kind of does a little bit, but his mane is more. Oh, you know what? Zoom in on his forehead, Kumi. Can you zoom in on his forehead? He even has the arrow from Appa's. He's got Appa's arrow. Wow.
It's an anime Komainu.
So this is an airbending shrine right here.
No. So yeah, sorry for podcast audience. Please this time come to the YouTube channel as well. This is
Yeah,
a very
Also, check
interesting
out
looking
the
commandments.
article
Yep.
on our website that details the differences between temples and shrines. So when you come to Japan, it makes looking at all the temples and shrines a little bit more interesting because
yeah.
it does get a bit repetitive after a while. So learning what the differences are does make for more fun exploring.
The link will be attached on description box.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah,
can read
and
it.
just to repeat what Jibo said, because that is extremely important. Like having guided tons of tours, people get tired of seeing like, okay, another shrine, another temple. But if you actually know a little bit of the history behind Shintoism and Buddhism, then it becomes something that's actually quite fascinating. And then if you also have a little bit of knowledge about which deity resides at that shrine, then it becomes like, oh wow, okay, that's actually really. I've had people cry on tour when they figured out, or when it was the history of a shrine was being explained to them, because they were just like, they were really moved. So yeah, just knowing the history, reading the article on our website helps out a lot in appreciating these things. And then, so we have a new segment. Can I move on to this, Jibo? Or?
Yep.
We have a new segment today that we're going to be introducing, and we're going to do this every week. I actually have two new segments. I didn't even tell Jibo about the second one because I just thought about it during this podcast. But the first one is, every week we would like to give away something from Japan to our listeners, for or just anything, like something related to Japan. So it might be like a figurine, it might be a food item, it might be, it could be anything, just whatever we find interesting during that week, we would like to give away to our audience. So for this week, I don't know how many people will be interested in this, but our giveaway.
It's wasabi Doritos. Have you had these, Kumi?
No, it's my first time. Even so Japan's so arrogant. It say Japan Doritos on the on the package. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Exclusive to Japan, wasabi Doritos. You definitely want to try these.
Actually, wasabi shoyu.
Oh, wasabi shoyu.
Yeah, is that shoyu? Let me see it again. Make sure before I say it wrong. Yeah, that's shoyu. So wasabi soy sauce flavored Doritos. For whoever wants them, you just have to comment in the YouTube section saying, hey, give me the Doritos, and then we'll choose.
How many are we giving away?
Well, I actually tried to find a second bag. I cannot find another bag of these.
Really?
I found them at Mini Stop. And then I went back the next day to try to get another bag, and nope, not there. So first come, first serve. We will choose
possibly the last bag of wasabi shoyu Doritos in the entire Japan.
Yeah, maybe even they realized that was a mistake or something. That can be last batch.
Yeah, you'll never see these anywhere else ever on the So comments in the sections in the comment section on YouTube, and let us know if you want the bag, and then we'll choose a random person from all the people who commented, and we'll do this every week. It may be something that I just really like, or Jibo likes, or Kumi likes, that we want to share with you guys. Something like that, or it may be like, I don't know, it'll be something nice, it'll be something cool, it'll definitely be something rare that you won't be able to find in your own home country. So yeah, and then the next segment that I wanted to do, we're not gonna do it this episode, but starting next episode, is we might start to introduce one place that we all like in Japan. So for people who are watching this that are trying to plan their own trip to Japan, you could use that information to hopefully incorporate some of the locations that we discuss on the podcast into your own itinerary. I mean, we are a trip planning service or tour planning company, you know, so if you wanted our services, that's great too. But I know that there are a lot of people who are trying to save money and just want information. So yeah, we'll introduce places as we go along per episode. Yes, so to help you guys with your own planning.
Yes, we can't wait to share the Lair link from Japan. I'm very excited to do that.
Yeah, hopefully people will.
Please wait.
Say it again, Kumi.
Please wait next episode to come up.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, then I think then we could wrap it up then for this episode, right?
Yep. So that is it for our news and cultural tidbits today. We'll be back next week with some more of what is happening in Japan. You can find us on YouTube and all of the major podcasting platforms. So subscribe to hear from us every week. We'll be starting the travel tips next week for when people are actually allowed to travel again.
Yes.
Otherwise, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Yes.
ありがとう。
Bye bye.
Bye.